Hey, welcome to Robin on the Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to make my very favorite bread recipe using a mixer. This is my Farmhouse White Bread, or I call it my Barnhouse Bread. And I'm super excited today because this is the first time I'm ever using cast iron bread pans. So let's try it out. Let's see if I like them. I don't know where these have been my whole life. I love cooking with cast iron and I love making bread, and I never knew that cast iron bread pans existed. I don't know where I've been. I guess I'm not that big of a consumer. I don't really shop that much. So I totally missed these. So maybe they've been out forever. Maybe everybody else has them, but I didn't have them, and I am super excited about this. It's actually my birthday, and this is what my kids got me for my birthday. And so I am just super excited. I'm going to use these for the first time today. I oiled them up, got them all ready, and I just cannot wait to see how they turn out. I've been using plain old glass and metal bread pans forever, but those are going to be fun. I found those on Amazon. I'll put the link below in case you're interested in them because I am super excited about them. Probably more excited than I should be. Okay, anyway, today we're making our farmhouse bread, like I said. I call it my Barnhouse bread because of my barn house, but I will just show you how to make this. Okay, so for this bread recipe, I'm going to use my Bosch. You can use any mixer that has a dough hook or the paddles, or you can knead this by hand if you want to. I can show you how to do that another time. I really like to knead by hand too when I have time. But to be fast in the kitchen, use a mixer. A KitchenAid, anything like that will work. And here's my bread bowl. All you're going to need to make this Barnhouse bread is some water, some salt, some flour, some oil or butter, yeast, and sugar. That's it. Totally simple ingredients. Hopefully you have them in your pantry. So we need 2 cups of hot water. Just let your tap run hot and don't let it burn you or anything like that, but it needs to be pretty warm to activate the yeast. You also don't want it too hot so it doesn't kill your yeast, but just normal hot tap water will work great. We're going to put in 3/4 cup of sugar. Just pour it on into your bread bowl. Now we need 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. This is my active dry yeast. I get it at Costco. It's a good deal there. 1.5 tablespoons. And like I said, I always put this in my freezer. I just store it in my freezer and pull it out right before I make bread. You don't have to thaw it or do anything. Just straight out of the freezer works great. Okay, now we need some bread flour. You can also use all-purpose flour. I wanted to show you my bread flour right here. I usually keep my flour and everything in these big old buckets, but my bucket was empty, so I had to pull out a new bag today. I just wanted to show it to you. This is my Lehigh Mills bread flour, and it is really good flour. The difference between the bread flour and the all-purpose flour is that the bread flour has more protein, just a little bit. This one has 11.5 to 12.75% protein, and their all-purpose flour has 10 to 11.5% protein. And that higher protein content will help your gluten develop better. You'll get better texture out of your breads and a higher rise. So at my Costco, I have the option to buy bread flour and all-purpose flour, both from Lehigh Mills. And since they're both right there, I get both of them. I use my bread flour for most of my yeast breads, and I use the all-purpose flour for cookies and cakes and everything else. So 5.5 cups of flour, bread or all-purpose, either one you want to use. Just pour that in here. Okay, our next ingredient is oil. You can use any oil that you want, any light tasting oil I would recommend. Probably coconut oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, light olive oil, or a 1/4 cup of butter. That works too, but this is a 1/4 cup of oil. So let's pour that on in. And our very last ingredient is salt. We need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Just kind of put that on in there on top. And that is it. Those are all of our ingredients. I'm gonna let it knead for about 6 to 8 minutes. If you're hand kneading, I'd recommend about 10 minutes. But you can use any kind of mixer you want, a Braun, a KitchenAid, anything that has a dough hook or paddles will work just great for kneading. So I'm gonna let this go for about 6 to 8 minutes. That seems to be kind of my magic time on speed 2. After my dough had mixed for a couple minutes, I saw that it was sticking a little bit to the sides and to the bottom of the bowl, so I decided to add just a little bit more flour so that it doesn't stick. So I'm going to add about 1/8 of a cup more of flour right now. Now watch it. There we go. See how it's pulled away from the sides and the bottom? That is what we want. There's our dough. It's slightly tacky, but look at that. You can kind of pull it. It looks really nice. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in the bowl, and I have put some hot water on this tea towel. I'm just going to let my bread sit out here on the counter for probably about 45 minutes. That's usually about how long it takes. And you're just going to want it to double in size. It has been about 50 minutes. I'm ready to check on the dough. Oh, it looks perfect. Look at that. It's risen, it's doubled about in size. This is exactly what you want it to look like. Okay, from here, you have to punch down your dough. I kind of hate this part because it's so beautiful right now, but you just punch it down, literally punch it down like that. Okay, and then pull it out of your bowl. I just like to let mine rise in the same bowl that I knead it in, but you can put it in any bowl to rise. Okay, so here it is. It's looking great. Just gonna kind of pat it out. And then I have this neat little scraper cutter thing that just cuts it so nicely. So there we go. Just cut it in half, 2 equal portions, because this recipe makes 2 loaves of bread. I forgot to mention that part. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pat out each piece. And let's see. Okay. There's no real science to this. You're just gonna roll it up kind of into a loaf shape. Let's see, just kind of roll it up. I like to kind of tuck in the ends. Tuck them in, roll it under. There we go. Kind of pinch the seams together. Look at that, there you go. Now I'm just gonna throw it into my bread pan. And like I said, I am so excited to use these new cast iron bread pans. This is gonna be really exciting for me. Okay, so there's one. Let's get our next one going. You can roll these out with a rolling pin if you want, just to kind of make it easier, but I just like to kind of pat them out, kind of get them as long as your bread pan, so that when you roll them up, it'll kind of fill the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll it up. Okay, pinch the ends under, kind of fold them under. It'll just make for a prettier loaf of bread if you do that. Kind of pinch the seams, just kind of pat it together. Okay, got my bread pan right here. Just gonna throw it on in. There we go. Oh, I'm so excited for these, I really am. Okay, so now it's time for the second rise. This rise will take about the same, 30 minutes to an hour, just kind of depending on how cold or warm it is. But I'm expecting about 45 minutes. I'm gonna check on these. And you just want them risen a good amount, and then they'll be ready to throw into the oven. You don't want them to over rise. You don't wanna like leave your house and be gone for a couple hours, because they'll rise so much that they'll start to fall. And at that point, the bread is not gonna turn out as good as it could. But I would just let them go for about 45 minutes and they will be ready, and I will show you at that point. Okay, you see that our bread has been rising. You can see it's a little bit above the top of the pan, and that is exactly when I want to put it in the oven. Doesn't that look good? It's been rising. It's been about 50 minutes. It's kind of cold in here, so it took a little bit longer, but it looks amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. These look amazing. The bread is fresh out of the oven, and look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Doesn't it look so pretty? Great rise, great color. You can see both of them. This one rose a little bit more. I probably didn't divide them evenly. I think this one maybe had a little bit more dough in it, but they look amazing. I am really pleased so far. This is my first time using cast iron bread pans. And so I think the real test, if I'm gonna light these bread pans or not, is if the bread comes out easily. You know, sometimes with cast iron, things stick to it. Sometimes your food sticks to it a little bit. So I'm gonna have to see how easily these come out of these cast iron bread pans. So let's give that a try. This is gonna be like the real test to me, if I like them or not. Because so far, so good. So far, I mean, they're looking great. So I like them so far. Okay, let's see, are they gonna stick? I oiled them up really good. But let's see. Look at that! Look at that! I mean, I have to say that actually came out better than my traditional bread pans. This bread came out easier than in like the glass or in the metal bread pans. So that's awesome. Let's see if that was just a fluke. Let's see if this one does it too. Oh, it just comes out. Look at that. That is amazing. Okay, I like them. I love them actually. And you know what else I like? Whew, those are hot. My bread seems just slightly longer and skinnier, which I actually really like. It'll be even better for sandwiches, I think. Okay, well these look amazing. I love them. I'm super pleased. I'm super pleased in how the bread turned out. I'm super pleased with how the bread pans performed. You know, to get the very best texture and crumb out of your bread, you want to let it cool completely. But I never do that because I get the bread out and it smells so good and it looks so pretty and I just want to cut right into it, and everybody wants a big slice of bread with some butter on it. So in our family, we just cut into it. I know it would be better if we waited, but that's not realistic, and this is real life. So I'm just going to cut into it. I'm going to cut a big section so you can see. Oh, look at that. Can you see how beautiful it is? It is steaming, isn't it? Look at that. That is gorgeous. Yep, it turned out perfectly how I wanted it. And really, I was also wondering with the cast iron if the sides were gonna get really crunchy because these are so good at conducting the heat, but no, they're soft and nice. I actually really like these better than my regular bread pans. So those will be put to rest in my cabinet in case I need them, but I'm gonna start using these exclusively. So I'm gonna take a little bite. Actually, I'm gonna take a big old bite because that's a thick piece, isn't it? But I just gotta try it and see. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. This is so good. So this is my Barnhouse or country white bread. I love this bread. Like I said, if I could only make one bread recipe for the rest of my life, it would be this one. It's just a classic to me. It's slightly sweet. I love a little bit sweet bread. Super simple to make, had very few ingredients. Try it out. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if yours turn out this good. Let me know if you've ever tried cast iron bread pans. So if I had to leave a review of these bread pans, I would give them 10 out of 10 stars. These are amazing. They're heavyweight. They feel like real good quality. This is Lodge USA. They're made in Tennessee, so I love that. I feel like this company makes really great things. Like I've been using their cast iron skillets for years and years, so I know that these are gonna stand up to the test of time and to the test of use also. They're just so cool. And these are the kind of things that I'm gonna use for years, and then I'm gonna hand them down to my kids. And hopefully they have really great memories of all the bread that I made for them, and they can make bread for their kids and for their grandkids using these same bread pans. That's the hope. That would be really cool. And of course, I'm gonna pass down all of the recipes that I have too. Thanks for coming and making my very favorite bread recipe with me today. Please come back. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you make this bread. I would love to see your comment. And I'm new on YouTube, so I'm still, every time I get a comment or a like, I just absolutely love it. So thanks for being here today, and I will see you next time on Robin on the Farm.